everyone, welcome to the news here on Magic Bricks Now, India's first 24/7 property business channel. I'm Krishna Kumar. Let's take a look at the top stories that we're tracking over here. It is Chennai's worst disaster since the tsunami 11 years ago. Incessant rain since Monday has brought the city to a standstill. Chennai airport has been shut, flights have been grounded, the city is flooded and people are being evacuated as we speak to higher ground. Meanwhile, the downpour shows no signs of easing. The Met Department says rains will continue for another 3 days. The Army, Navy and the Air Force have swung into action. The National Disaster Relief Force has been called in. Evacuations are underway across Chennai city. We are told that people in Adayar, Ikadandangal, Tambaram, Orapakkam, etc. have been evacuated. Meanwhile, aid organizations are unable to enter the city, but social media and some startups have swung into action. If you want to reach out to Chennai, we will tell you how. Let's kick things off with the big story of the day. Chennai is buckling under nature's fury. The heavy downpour that started on Monday is showing no signs of abating. Experts are calling this the city's worst natural disaster since the tsunami 11 years ago. To say normal life has been paralyzed would be understating it. People are stranded on rooftops with little or no access to food and water. Power and telephone lines are down. Transport, both on the ground and in the air, has come to a grinding halt. The Chennai airport has been shut down. Despite, however, seems to be far away. Earlier today, the Met Department put out a statement predicting that the downpour will continue for another 4 days. Unfortunately, the rain shows no signs of easing. Listening to what the Director General of the Met Department had to say.
Many stations in the northern 3 districts of Tamil Nadu reported rainfall of 30 centimeter and more, and 2 stations have reported 40 centimeter also, resulting into a lot of inundation in the metropolitan areas of Chennai and surrounding places. As rainfall is likely to continue for next 3 days over this region, there will not be a big respite.
Times Now's Nikhil was on the ground in Chennai during these floods, and he sent us this report earlier in the day highlighting the rescue efforts in Chennai. Take a look.
Well, here on Greenways Road, finally a boat has come by to rescue people who are stuck on the interiors of this particular neighborhood. What works in the favor, at least in the favor for the people here, is the vicinity and the proximity of it to the Madras Boat Club. The Madras Boat Club staff are doing a yeoman service by bringing out one of their boats, and they're also carrying out this entire operation of wading through these waters, which vary from being ankle deep to waist deep, and they're getting into the insides of this neighborhood, and they're bringing out women and small children who obviously will find it extremely difficult to walk through these waters, and that is something that has come as a respite to those people who have been waiting in these neighborhoods since 1 o'clock last night. The level of water is only increasing. In fact, the water level stood at the ground floor, and now it is almost reaching the first floor level, which is forcing and compelling the people to step out and come on to the main road. Also, their intention to come to the main road is to grab some attention and help, because none of it seems to be reaching them while they are holed up there in their homes inside. And the authorities who are helping them out, in this situation, are also directing them not to carry with them any of their belongings. That is resulting in an apprehension amongst many people, many of whom are choosing to stay at their homes or around their homes, which obviously is a very dangerous thing. So it remains to be seen how much more time the government authorities will take to reach this place. Only then will there be any effective tackling of the situation. As of now, one boat at work provided by the Madras Boat Club is being operated by the staff of the Madras Boat Club, and they are the ones bringing people out. Every time they go in, they can bring out a maximum of 8 to 10 people. It's really not matching up to the proportion of the demand that there is. So there is really a need for the government to step it up on its own part, apart from receiving help from the forces of Army, Navy. Back to you.
And my colleague Anusha Ravi was in Kanjipuram earlier in the day, and she sent us this report on the access being cut off for the citizens over there due to heavy flooding of the river. Take a look.
We're right now near the overflowing Palar Bridge. One of the bridges that is connecting at least about 50 to 20 villages on the other side has been blocked because of the river flowing in full current. As of now, what you're seeing right in front of you is the effect of the battering that rains have given the town of Kanjipuram. This bridge that we're talking about is right outside the town of Kanjipuram in Kanjipuram district. The Palar River overflowing right now, a bridge connecting at least about 15 to 20 villages has been blocked since morning. People stranded on both ends of the bridge. There are people not being allowed to travel on this particular bridge. On the other end of the bridge as well, there are people stranded. The police personnel manning this particular bridge as of now. This has been barricaded, not allowing people to cross over. It is a risk. It is dangerous for people to cross over, and the police are right now barricading the entrance and exit points of this bridge. Hundreds of people do not have any other way to reach the other villages on the other side of this bridge. People are only hoping that the rain subsides and this bridge is open to public access in Kanjipuram. Anusha Ravi for Times Now.
Now, many citizens are stranded near the railway stations in the city as well. Times Now caught up with some of those passengers and found out how exactly is the situation on the ground. Here you go.
It's flooded, I guess the airport seems more like a swimming pool today. You have engines who are, which are like almost drowned. The buses are half drowned, and it's a very difficult situation to be in.
We were stranded 2 days back. Since 2 days we are standing. There is no announcement, no food, nothing. And even the flights have been cancelled, and they are telling that more 3 days will be taken for clearing all the airport or something.
Your airport or
how long it took for you to reach?
Here, I guess 20 minutes, but the line is very much hectic. And now we are going to Coimbatore and then from there Bangalore. So it is a very hectic journey for us.
Yesterday night it was okay, but today morning we have knee-length water in our houses. There are small insects and everything moving on in our houses. And her TV was at the ground floor, so everything has flooded now. And the bean bags, everything are floating in the water.
Now, during these difficult times, citizens in the city have been doing their part by helping out with basic amenities like food. Times Now's Nikhil Joshi sent us this report as well.
Apart from all the trouble and miseries that the battering of rains has heaped on Chennai, it has also brought out a positive side in many. Just like this group of people who've come out on their own and are distributing packets of food amongst old women and children. You're distributing food packets. Do you see many others also do the same?
Yeah, we are trying to, Roundtable has decided that all of us, in wherever we stay, somewhere close by, we go and help people. Because there's water all over. It's very difficult to reach one common place. So very, very close by to our houses, we have decided. So this being a railway station, people are stranded. So we came here.
As you see, it's impossible to match the proportion of the demand. It is impossible to even organize one such event. But that is where the government's role really comes in, where the government can help those who want to help the others, who are really in need of it. In Chennai, Nikhil Joshi, Times Now.
Talking about the government in Delhi is taking stock of the situation in Chennai to, make it efficient as far as the rescue and relief operations are concerned. Listen in.
वैसे आज के लगभग एक सप्ताह पहले हमारी वहाँ के चीफ मिनिस्टर सुश्री जयललिता जी से बात हुई थी और उनसे मैंने कहा था कि जिस भी प्रकार के सहयोग की आवश्यकता हो हम सहयोग करने को तैयार हैं। वैसे वहाँ पर आर्मी भी लगी है, नेवल फोर्स भी लगी है और साथ ही साथ हमारी एनडीआरएफ की टीम भी पर्याप्त मात्रा में वहाँ पहुँच गई है। निश्चित रूप से स्थिति बहुत ही चिंताजनक है
और केंद्र सरकार के द्वारा जो भी मदद चाहिए वो सरकार पूरा दे रहे, आर्मी को भी, नेवी को भी और एनडीआरएफ टीम्स को भी सबको आदेश दे दिया है। जो भी वहाँ मदद चाहिए प्रदेश सरकार को मदद करना चाहिए और केंद्र सरकार पूरा साथ देने के लिए तैयार है, दे रही।
Now, a day after the Prime Minister spoke with Tamil Nadu's Chief Minister Jayalalitha on the ongoing crisis, a core group of the government, which includes top ministers in the Modi government, met today to assess the situation on the ground. Gauri Dwivedi from New Delhi joins us with all the details. Gauri, take it away. Tell us more.
core group of the government today met to really assess the situation as far as the Chennai floods are concerned. Of course, this comes a day after the PM spoke with Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha, assuring all support from the centre. NDRF teams have already been sent to Chennai. PM today took stock of a whole host of things in the meeting today. First was, of course, whether or not there is adequate supply of food grains in the city. Electricity or power supply, again, is an issue that was discussed. Remember, there are large parts of Chennai where power supply is a huge issue right now. That was assessed and reviewed in the meeting. Beyond that, safety and security of very crucial assets like the new nuclear power plant installations, that was something that was reviewed, and whether or not they continue to be safe or not. Again, that was something that was discussed in the meeting. It is expected that another round of review could take place in the next 48 to 72 hours. Navy has also been brought in. Naval vessels will also be brought in to really overcome the situation that exists right now. Defence Minister did talk about in the meeting that both Navy as well as NDRF teams and Army will work in very, very close coordination to overcome the present situation.
Now, we know that so many of you are trying to reach out to family and friends in Chennai. Phone lines have been jammed, and we've spent all day feeling helpless because there is so little we can do to actually reach out. But several businesses and citizens in Chennai have sprung into action to help. Ruchi Deshpande is here for more on that. Ruchi, what are the major companies doing in order to provide relief to those stranded in the Chennai floods?
Well, apart from the help that has been pouring in from Chennai, especially from the government, organizations and a host of NGOs, a lot of people on the social media as well as a few of the major companies have risen to the task and are helping out people in their own way that have been stranded in Chennai. First off, we have the major telecom companies Airtel and Vodafone that have offered a free talk time of about 10 rupees or 30 minutes, which will be valid starting today, where all the calls for these two networks across Chennai will be absolutely free of cost. Moving on, reports also state that the Telecom Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad has made an announcement that the state-run telecom body BSNL will not charge for calls across Chennai. This will also be starting from today. And for those who have not paid their monthly bills, the service for making calls across Chennai will not be discontinued until further notice. Moving on, in terms of transport, the transport company Ola Cabs has partnered with a Chennai-based professional rowing company Blue Waters in order to ferry the customers stranded in the water-ridden states. Ola is also offering free rides free of cost to ferry customers in Chennai itself. Lastly, we come to Zomato, where the online food delivery app has come out with a meal for all thing, where customers of Zomato sitting in cities like Bombay, Delhi and Bangalore can pay for meals, especially for people who have been stranded in Chennai. Now Zomato will add one meal to what has been paid and make this meal deliverable to those stranded in Chennai. Apart from this, one more thing that you can do if you are not stranded in Chennai right now but wish to help is a free recharge, where we notice that a lot of people across Twitter and social media have been providing free recharge to those residents in Chennai who are out of call balances and need to make that urgent call. Lastly, when we spoke to one of the major NGOs in the country, they said that they're already collecting a lot of reliefs as we speak right now, and they're organizing a pan-India campaign which will take place as soon as Chennai gets accessible.
As soon as Chennai gets accessible. Ruchi Deshpande, thank you for bringing us that report. Now, keep in mind, the torrential downpour in Chennai has been termed as the heaviest in nearly 100 years. As the government and the army and the navy try to help the residents stay afloat, social media has also been flooded with relief efforts. Information on relief centers opened by the Chennai Corporation with address and contact numbers, as well as a list of helpline numbers, are being widely circulated on Twitter. Twitter India, in fact, is curating two hashtags, hashtag Chennai Rains and hashtag Chennai Rains Help. The hashtag Chennai Rains Help for those of you who are willing to offer help, and those of you who are desperately in need of help. That's the hashtag that you need to look for on Twitter. And there's also hashtag Chennai Floods that's trending as we speak. Citizens from different parts of the city have been broadcasting their location, location of their homes, their mobile numbers, and what they're able to offer. A number of malls, multiplexes, and colleges are also throwing their doors open tonight to those who are stranded, like the iconic Satyam Cinemas in Chennai and even the Phoenix Malls in the Velachery area of Chennai. The local government in Chennai has put out these numbers to contact in case of emergency. Those numbers are flashing now on your screens, and there you go, the state emergency number, the district emergency number, and the sewage overflow numbers. Please keep a note of them and pass it on to those who are in need of help. The mid-December deadline for the War of Cities is around the corner, and civic bodies are doing all they can to make it to the centre's first list of 20 smart cities. Who will come out trumps? In our special series, we look at Ahmedabad tonight and the city's plan to make it to the smart city list. We are being joined by Ahmedabad Municipal Commissioner D. Thara. Thank you so much for being with us here. My first question to you, Ms. Thara, is that what are the plans to make Ahmedabad city a smart one?
So that is the first thing in smart city, that we need to provide basic infrastructure, hassle-free and accessible infrastructure and affordable infrastructure at their doorstep. For example, I would classify that as drinking water, drainage and good roads. Other most important aspect of a smart city would be transit. How do you provide a transit which is personalized, at the same time public? We have real-time information of all the buses flowing through the system. If you are able to get in paratransit also on the platform, then you give an integrated mobility platform to the citizen to commute. Now I can ask, I want to go from A to B, how do I? So this particular system can give on the mobile or on the phone, wherever, however it may be, the whole aspect of, look, you start from here, walk 10 meters, 20 meters, 50 meters, 100 meters or 200 meters, you go to this bus stop. It's a GPS for the commuter. So that is something which we are very much looking at. So one is, energy audit at the community and government level. Another is smart water, where the water efficiencies are brought up through proper measuring, accountability, metering. At the same time, accountability from our side to give a water particular assured service. Quality is not compromised. At the same time, accountability is brought in. That's the second thing. The third thing is we are looking at traffic audits and then live monitoring of the city spaces.
Ms. Thara, just to quickly check with you, are you also focusing on area-based development for Ahmedabad?
We have demarcated a central business district of 180 hectares where retrofitting and redevelopment is taking place already. And transit-oriented zone with retrofitting and redevelopment provisions of 4,400 hectares plus another 2,800 hectares of metro and 4,400 hectares of BRTS. And the third thing is greenfield development in a residential affordable housing zone, which is around 7,600 hectares in the city, has already been earmarked. And this work of complete master plan has been completed, micro planning is going. Another place where we have is our riverfront is ready. We are going to auction land for development. So that is actually abutting this riverfront as this central business district.
Ms. Thara, before I let you go, are you ready with the plan that will be submitted to the government?
We are almost completed with our smart city proposal. We are going to submit it as destined to be submitted by the deadline.
Ms. Thara, thank you so much for joining us for a quick view of that. We are also being joined by Dr. Bimal Patel of CEPT University, President and Urban Planner. Thank you so much for joining us here on the news, Mr. Patel. My first question to you is, if you were about to do a SWOT analysis of Ahmedabad as a city, what are the factors that will come into play?
One of the biggest strengths of Ahmedabad is its local government. I think it has, over the last 20 years, the capacity of local government to address short-term and long-term problems has considerably improved. And that, I think, is one of Ahmedabad's big strengths. I think if it wants to do more on this front, it has to learn better how to draw the strengths of all the people of Ahmedabad. The real challenge for Ahmedabad is to ensure that the focus remains on making the life of ordinary people as comfortable and productive as possible.
Mr. Patel, secondly, what are the key areas that needs to be addressed as far as the city of Ahmedabad is concerned? Talk to us about that.
Well, at this point, if you ask me, some of the key problems that, one of the important problems we need to address is traffic, because I think Ahmedabad is one place in which traffic moves, but I think we can do much better on that front. The second issue we need to address is housing. I think that too many citizens of Ahmedabad do not have proper housing, proper toilets, and the infrastructure that's necessary for a decent life in the city. That's the second most important thing that we have to, actually both of them, let us say, are equally important topics. One affects productivity, the other affects livability in the city.
All right, Mr. Patel, lastly, tell us how exactly can we address these issues?
Well, in the case of housing, we need to ensure that at one level, for the poorest of the poor people, government has to build housing. There is subsidized housing, and there is no choice for that. But we have to keep this number to a manageable amount, and so we have to find out ways in which real estate developers are able to produce very small houses which are affordable for the lower segments of the city. With regard to traffic, I think the key issue is taking the responsibility of traffic management and handing it over to the municipal corporation. This is the real challenge. Instead of having a separate agency responsible for it, the streets have to be completely managed by one agency, which means they have to be managed and built by the same agency, and that's the municipal corporation.
Mr. Bimal Patel, thank you so much for taking time out to being with us here on the news on Magic Breaks Now. Away from Ahmedabad on to Noida, where residents who have a long list of complaints for civic authorities need not trek across to their office anymore. Noida Authority has just made the process simpler for you by creating a new mobile app. The intention is to solve long, complicated processes with a simple tap. My colleague Deepa Rana tells us how you can download and use this app. Take a look.
Noida Authority has launched a mobile application called the Noida Citizen Charter to stay connected and resolve issues of the people living in Noida. It offers a total of 187 online services that residents in Noida can now benefit from.
Basically, an extension to it has been added, and the RWAs, there are almost 150 resident welfare associations in Noida, and they can easily access the app through their mobiles and through their desktop computers also.
This app handles property department related services which include transfer memorandum, mortgage permission, lease deed, no dues, surrender of plot, etc. These services range all across residential, commercial, group housing, industrial and institutional departments. Not just this, one can even register a complaint against day-to-day issues like garbage on the street, potholes, street lights, flooding and water supply.
It's a very encouraging idea, so it will save a lot of time for the RWs even to visit Noida Authority. Again and again they will not need to queue, and it's a free mobile application.
In order to ensure smooth services, the authority has also set a timeline to address the complaint. Citizens will get an update on this too via their phones. The Noida Citizen Charter is currently available only for Android phones. Citizens can download it free of charge from the Play Store. With Deepa Rana, this is Suesha Sawant for Magic Bricks Now.
Now remember, if you have any feedback or suggestions for us, write to us on the email ID at the bottom of your television screens. We're also on Twitter and Facebook, so feel free to tweet to us or post your query on our Facebook page. Also remember to check out our live streaming website www.mbnow.in. We would absolutely love to hear from you. And with that, it is a wrap on this edition of the news here on Magic Bricks Now. Thank you so much for watching. This is Krishna Kumar signing off.